Welcome everyone to the Tactical Tavern. My name is Tomas Salas, and in this video we are reviewing the CRKT M16 O3KS. The Kit Carson design is one of CRKT's best-selling series, and this iteration blends tactical looks with everyday carry functionality. We're going to see how it stacks up against the Tactical Tavern test with 25 possible points based on price, functionality, design, dependability, versatility, and carryability. Let's cut into it. Before we begin, if you love gadgets, gear, and upgrading your everyday carry, take a moment to drop a like and subscribe for more content like this. All right, first up is price, and you can find this knife for around 40 bucks. There are some models of this knife that can range from $60 to upwards of $100, but for this review, we're focusing on that $40 base model because it's most accessible to everyone, which is why it scores a 5 out of 5 on pricing. All right, next up is functionality and design. This knife has a blade length of 3.55 inches, comprised of 12C 27 Sandvik steel. Now, the steel is very easy to maintain and resharpen because it gets to a very fine edge, and the edge holding capabilities are halfway decent. The handle measures in at 4.66 inches and is comprised of stainless steel. To get this knife into use, simply press down on that flipper tab, and it does have some serrations for ease of use. With the design of this knife, you might notice the thumb studs. However, those are actually there to help stabilize the lock, and I wouldn't recommend trying to flick the knife out because you'll be sitting there for hours. Taking a close look at the handle, it does have some milling work. However, this is still pretty hefty, coming in at 3.8 ounces. The pocket clip is 4-way positionable, coming in at tip up, tip down, left or right hand carry. A subtlety I really enjoy about this knife is the textured pivot screw, which certainly aids in helping deploy this knife in tip down configuration. The spine of this knife does have some jimping that flows into a very thin swedge. Pair that with the small hollow grind, this has some very slicey capabilities. Now just be careful because this knife can be a little bit slippery. It's stainless steel, so if you're using this in an aquatic environment, it may take a second to get out or be a little challenge to hang on to. That being said, it does score a 4 out of 5 on functionality and design. Next up is dependability. This knife rides on phosphorus bronze washers that does aid in the flipping deployment. However, closing this knife can be a little rough because it isn't as smooth as, say, a Wii knife or a zero tolerance flipper. That out of the way, I have found the lockup to be extremely strong, especially with that frame lock coming over at 100%. Now the steel is super easy to maintain, and I've even sharpened it on a Leatherman wave while out in the field hiking or camping. I'm a big fan of the jimping they added to the flipper tab to help ensure a positive deployment. Now, while utilizing this knife pretty hardcore while taking apart a plastic crate, I did end up actually bending this knife and having to rebend it. I'm glad the steel didn't snap. However, I wish the tempering was a little bit better so it would have snapped back into place. Ultimately, I feel that this knife will be there for you when you need it most, and it can certainly take a beating, which is why it scores a 3 out of 5 on dependability. Next up, versatility. And I can certainly attest that it makes an excellent everyday carry blade. However, on that tactical part, I don't know. And mainly this is due to that slippery grip. Although the flipper tab does help act as a guard, it's still not something that I trust either being able to pull out or slide in without my hands running up on that blade. I have been carrying and using this knife for years, and the CRKT M16 was one of my first pocket knives. I've used it for a multitude of different tasks, which is why it scores a 4 out of 5 on versatility. Okay, last up is carryability. This knife certainly wins by having that 4-way positionable pocket clip capable of tip up, tip down, left or right hand carry, which certainly appeals to us lefties. However, that pocket clip does ramp up quite a bit, so be careful not to catch it on clothing or seatbelts. It does easily come in and out of the pocket because of their stainless steel liners. There's no grippy G10 to shred your pockets. Again, carrying this knife ensures that you can tackle a wide variety of situations, which is why it scores a 4 out of 5 on carryability. Overall, the CRKT M16 O3KS scores a 20 out of 25 and is an 80% pass on the Tactical Tavern test. I actually recommend this knife to anyone just getting into the everyday carry community because it boils down to everything an EDC blade should be and nothing more. If you enjoyed this review and you found value from it, make sure to drop a like and subscribe because it helps support the channel. Share it with your friends, and while you're there, turn on post notifications so you are the first to know of new videos dropping every Tuesday and Thursday. Also, follow us on Instagram at Tactical Tavern to get a behind-the-scenes look at new gear, the testing process, and videos you won't find here. With that being said, my name is Tomas Salas. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, be prepared, be practical, stay tactical.